I want to do a couple of things in today's video. One, I want to introduce you to some high yield dividend stocks that you need to keep on your radar. They could be good investments. The three I'm going to go over with you today do have monthly options, but they do not have weekly options. I actually prefer weekly option when I'm trading any stock, to be perfectly honest. But these three I want to go over today have just an exceptionally high yield, and I want to introduce you to those, as well as kind of go over with you, part of my investing strategy, how my indicators work. I'm more of a swing trader, but I do it with options, and these will give me a good opportunity to show you how my indicators work on three high yield dividend stocks that I think would be good to add to your portfolio. We're going to start off with Sunoco Limited, and I've got it up on the screen right here. These are my Bollinger Bands that I have set up, and they can give you ideas of good opportunities to buy this stock, because again, we're trying to collect dividends, so we need to actually buy the stock. Now, ironically, as we're looking at it right now, we're in a good buy zone right here, and we've got a lot of support through this area. We've come down into a 1 ATR, even a 2 ATR move. So, somewhere in this area right here is actually a good buy, zone for this particular stock based on the Bollinger Band indicator that I use. Probably the most important thing to look at is do not buy through here, because here it's getting extended away from this mean. Now, this is not a good opportunity to go long. Yes, had you bought right here, you would have made money, but it's going to revert back down into this area, or this area is going to catch up with it. So I never like to buy at these highs. I just think there's way too much risk up here. So if you're looking, to add this to, Sun actually is a good long-term investment. If you're looking at the trends here, how it consolidates, a buy zone anywhere between 29 all the way up to potentially 32 are good buy zone areas. You look at the dividends on this. I think it's like an 80 cent. It's an 82-cent dividend, 82-cent dividend. So over the course of the year, you're going to get about $3 in dividends, or a little bit better. And of course, that can change. So you have to keep an eye out on these. Let's switch to another one of my indicators to give you a further example. This is my wave indicator. It is showing a little bit of a move down on the trend here, so it'll be a little bit careful there as you compare the three indicators. That they will all give you ideas of what the stock is doing. If you get all three of them to agree with you that that's the best time to enter and best time to just go long or do a debit spread or something like that. If you get two of them in agreement, then there's different types of option strategies you could do. But since we're talking about collecting dividends here, you're going to have to look for buy opportunities. And below this, the wave here is a buy opportunity. Your stop probably would have to be somewhere down here, because again, your idea is to get into this, collect dividends. And if you were to buy at 31, even if it dropped down to 30, you're looking at about $3 a year in dividends. So you're still okay on this stock, and it does have a lot of consolidation between this area here. So anywhere in here, good buy area, and it's an area that you could expect it to bounce around without changing how you look at it. And you can, again, as we look at this, these are areas you do not want to buy, as it's over this 2 ATR band here, and then RSI has also gotten really high. Now down here where RSI is really low is an excellent buy opportunity, especially outside of this band. Now this is a good opportunity to buy if you want to get long in this stock. Let's take a look at the moving averages. They are starting to show the downtrend also. So, but we're seeing good support at the 200, and that's where we're at right now. So I would say my Bollinger Bands and my moving average indicators are showing a potential buy here. I would be comfortable buying the stock right here just because of the dividend yield. Let's switch back to the Bollinger Bands. Let's take a look at the next one. Now the next one we want to look at is MSB. Now this one's a little more choppy, and right here where it's right now is not an area I would want to go buy this stock. But because it's a high yield dividend, we need to start looking for areas where we might be a buyer. Now we've got a big downtrend here that came back into these lows back here and actually broke below them. So I think anything, in this area between 21 and 20 is a potential long. Had you been, if you waited for this 2 ATR here or this 2 ATR here, or even the 2 ATR here, you would have been okay as it moved back through here. You're going to be collecting $1.06 in dividends on a $22 stock, actually $1.06 here, 37, 21, sorry, 21 here, 87 here, 89, $1.39. So the dividend varies some, but overall, even if you average these out, that's a good yearly dividend. I think that's something that you really need to take a look at this stock. Not a buy today, but I would put it on my radar. Look for a buy in the 2150 range, 21 range. Is where I'd want to go long based on the Bollinger Bands. Let's take a look at the wave. The wave pattern is showing the same thing. It's up above the wave right now. This is not a place you want to go long. You want to go long when it's down below the wave, which will be in this area or this 2 ATR band. Also, you've got some long opportunities here, which actually would not have worked out great, except for the fact that you got this dividend. So even if you'd bought at 23 and you got a $1.06 dividend just for that one quarter, that already takes you below 22. So you're still, it's still a good investment for you, even though it went against you a little here. But again, the keys don't buy here. Don't be a buyer. Right here at this. Had we been following the stock, I would have, been some potential to go long in here, which would have been a mistake, obviously. But my stop would have been right here, so I would have gotten out of it. Might even have collected a little bit of a dividend before I got out. And let's look at the moving averages on MSB. The same thing, it's moved back up to the 50. It could break above it. I would want it to come down again in this 21, 22 range before I went long, or at least to give me a buy signal on the Bollinger Bands, which would be, again, in this area right here. And these can change. If it consolidates here, these are going to move up, and it's going to tighten up and become a little more contracted on the Bollinger Bands. So maybe the buy area does come up a little bit in the 22. But we don't see the buy signal here, but it is a good stock from a dividend standpoint to start looking for a buy opportunity. So 22, 21, somewhere in that range would be a good buy opportunity on this particular stock. Let's take a look at IEP. Got the same. You've got a downtrend going on here. Need to be a little more careful with this one. It is in a buy area right now, based on Bollinger Bands. You're at this 3 and 2 ATR, so you would expect it to consolidate and move back up into this main area. This right here, I would tag as a buy if you wanted to go long right now. My stop would have to be around here, probably the low of this candle, which would also be close to a 3 ATR move back down. But you could certainly go long here with not too much risk. A little concerning that we've got some downtrend. Looks like it's showing, and it broke out of this consolidation here to the downside, fall back into it. But we don't want to go long here. It's too extended here. And right here would have been a tempting long, but you had to have a pretty tight stop just because of how consolidated it was right here. But you'd got stopped out really fast for a small loss. Here again, we're in a buy area according to the Bollinger Bands. Take a look at the wave. We're extended away from the wave. We're beyond this 2 ATR. Looking back into here, it's a good buy area. Look at RSI here, and look at RSI right here. Everything on IEP is pointing toward a buy right now. But if you're watching this video at some point in the future, you can still see where I'm looking to go long. This is perfect with these RSIs. Down through here, it kind of failed on us right in this area. Although we did have a consolidation period where we might be able to get out of it for a small profit. But today everything on IEP, on the Bollinger and the wave and the RSI are pointing toward a long. Take a look at the moving averages to get a look at those. Looking at the moving averages, we moved away from the 50. We got 200 way up here, so it's not. We would expect to move back toward that, and we'd expect to move back toward the 50. We've also got a huge separation between these EMAs here, and you would expect those to consolidate and start to contract. Again, I'm seeing buy signals here. The candles look like buy signals. You could have a stop here. You could have a tighter stop and probably just below 62. Either one of those would work. Now they just got a $2 dividend. You got $2 dividend here, $2 dividend here, $2 dividend here. So a lot of money being made on dividends. If you just wanted to go long and get into this at the right spot, you could sell this as a covered call, but it would limit your upside. Give you a little bit of protection for downside risk, but it would limit your upside. You can do it either way. I'm a big fan of covered calls. I don't typically like buying the stock as a covered call, but because we're trying to collect the dividend, here buying the stock would be the right move on this type of covered call. If you wanted to do this covered call, or you could keep it open, because I do expect a move back up into here. And my stop would either be here or down into this area. Because of these big dividend payouts, I'd be tempted to move my stop down into this area. If you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you have any questions. Check out our website. Down in the description, you've also got all the links to show you how to set up these indicators, as well as how I look at trend lines. I did not draw trend lines in on these. I don't use trend lines a lot unless it's a stock that I trade quite often. These three that I showed you today are nice dividend, high yield stocks, but they're not stocks that I keep on my trade list consistently unless I'm working a dividend portfolio. They certainly would have interest for me there. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'll try to answer them for you. Thank you for taking the time to check out the video.